Hey guys, welcome to yet another video in which I'm going to share with you phrases, questions, things that you shouldn't say to other people because they are either inappropriate or offensive. Of course, for every word and phrase, there's a time and place, and the green light for using different controversial phrases hugely depends on the way you're using them and on the people you're using them with. If you're just fooling around and people understand you and know you, you're on the same page, it's okay to use them. But let's talk about those inappropriate situations. And before we start, I want to thank the sponsor of today's video, Skillshare. I'll talk about them later on in this video, so stick around, you don't want to miss it. And the first phrase will be, no offense, but. Oh, this is such a notorious phrase. I'm sure you have heard about this phrase. People use it when they actually want to offend someone, but then kind of conceal it with this phrase. Listen, we all have our own thoughts, opinions, and prejudices, but that doesn't mean that we have to throw our opinion out there or that this is our mission to tell someone what we think. It can have consequences for us and for that other person. We have to think before saying or writing something. Is it that necessary to let someone know that we don't like something? Words have power. Words have power to heal or to kill, and not literally, but figuratively. We can kill someone else's dream, for example, and I'm sure we don't want to be responsible for that. No offense, but I don't think this makeup looks great on you. No offense, but it's not the best video that I've watched. Or, no offense, but, and whatever insult someone can come up with. No. Totally out of place because it's really not our place to criticize others. As they say, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. But if you're goofing around with this phrase in certain folks, I think it's okay. Saying something like, no offense, but I like it, it's brilliant. Or, no offense, but this dress looks gorgeous on you. You know what I mean. It depends on how you use this phrase, but if someone wants to insult someone else, then no. Using the phrase to take the piss in the United States, it's actually a funny one because it's a British phrase which means to joke around or make fun of someone. But in the United States, to take a piss means to urinate, but it's kind of rude to say it this way. In Europe, teachers mostly teach British English, and you should know that some expressions, phrases, words, and even grammar differ from those in American English. I'm sure that a lot of people from the US know that it's a British phrase and wouldn't be surprised, but the majority of people wouldn't understand. You rub me the wrong way. To rub someone the wrong way is a phrase which means to annoy someone. You know, it's not a nice one, and usually people use it to gossip about someone behind their back. It's not very nice, but what is even worse is to say this to someone directly. It's inappropriate. It's absolutely the same as saying you irritate me. Don't say this directly to people's faces because you don't know who you're talking to. You may get a knuckle sandwich. I can't stand the American accent. The real and the proper accent is the British accent. I get this kind of message very often, and sometimes people use even harsher words, so obviously they know what they want to say. Guys, I understand that we are all different. We like different things. We have different opinions. You know, different strokes for different folks. And of course, we have the right to express them. However, let's not forget about simple manners and respect. If you like a British accent or Australian accent or whatever accent, that's great. They are all beautiful. But there's no need to be so harsh and use such offensive language. Because you actually offend every person that speaks with that accent. And what if someone said something like that about your native language and your accent? But maybe someone doesn't know the meaning of this phrase and they just used it in a wrong way. So can't stand means that you dislike something very much, that you have a strong sense of disgust for someone or something. I think that's inappropriate, but what do you think, guys? Is this okay? I know it can be a touchy subject, but I also think that it's important to talk about these things. So feel free to share your opinion, but just, in a polite way. Because I've gotten such messages a couple of times from people assuming that I was a native speaker. Although I'm not, it was my choice to learn this accent. I didn't like reading such messages whatsoever. Maybe they didn't mean anything bad or offensive, but you should know that it definitely sounds like this. Now, let's take a little break to talk about our sponsor. And thank you guys once again for keeping cool with our sponsorships. Skillshare is an online learning community with thousands of inspiring classes from experts for curious and resourceful people just like you and me. This awesome community offers classes on different topics like illustration, graphic design, photography, and a lot more. If you have the desire to learn something new and explore your creativity, you should definitely check it out and join this community. Their classes include a combination of video lessons and class projects. Also, it'll help to take your mind off of these hard times that we're going through right now. In one of my previous videos, I talked about the benefits of writing and journaling. If you haven't watched that one, what were you even doing? The link's above my head. Go ahead. So in Skillshare, there's a very cool class that I loved on journaling. It goes over why should we journal, how to journal, and what we need to journal. Most of the classes are under 60 minutes, so you can easily fit them in your schedule. It's very affordable. It's less than $10 a month with an annual subscription. Now, listen up. The first 1,000 of my subscribers to click the link in the description and join this cool community will get 2-month free trial of premium membership that gives you unlimited access to all the classes. Don't miss this opportunity. Now, this next question isn't offensive, but the way in which it is asked is inappropriate. How can you help me? I get this question very often from people, and I understand that they mean, can you help me? Or how can I learn from you? Maybe you give some private classes or whatever. But when you put a question this way, it sounds like, I don't believe that you actually know something, so how can you help me? What can you actually suggest? Or you are obligated to help and to offer me something. Or maybe you want a person to guess how can they be useful for you. That's a possibility. Usually you can hear this question, how can I help you, or how can I serve you, in restaurants or from sales clerks or from anyone whose job is to help you with something particular. So if you want to ask someone to help you with something, and it can be anything, it's better to say, can you help me please? Or if you want to be super polite, you can say, would you be so kind as to help me? Using should and must. Should and must are very formal and used to express obligation or duty. And often when someone uses one of these words, it's perceived by other people as a critique of their actions. So when you use them, sometimes it sounds like criticism or an order. For example, and I'm going to speak for myself, and I'm going to read some of the things that people write to me. You shouldn't sit like that. You should look directly in the camera all the time when you're speaking. You shouldn't use music in your videos. You must use a blackboard. I understand that those are suggestions, but they sound like an order or disapproval, like, I don't like it, don't do this, or change this because this is what I want. And of course, I gave you some of my examples, and I understand people, especially language learners, that may not know these things, but it's considered impolite. Instead, you can say something like, have you thought about using a blackboard? Or, I was thinking it may be a good idea for you to use a blackboard when explaining something. Or something like this, maybe you could consider not using music in every video. Sure thing that people use these words. For example, your boss can tell you that you should already be at your work at 8 a.m. because this is your job, your obligation. Or when a doctor says that you shouldn't smoke and that you should take care of your health because smoking's bad, and if you want to be healthy, it's better to take care of yourself. But even in this case, it might be perceived by some people as, don't tell me what to do, mind your own business, and don't criticize my ways. Or you can use them when you give advice, especially when someone asks for it. Like, what do you think I should wear for this meeting? Oh, I think it should be something presentable and elegant. Or when talking about your own actions, I shouldn't have done that. That was wrong. Also, when you say you should apologize, because when someone has done something wrong to someone else, they really should apologize. It's almost like an obligation. Or we use it when something is expected. For example, my car should be ready by Thursday, and so on. But if you want to make a suggestion or share your opinion, there are more appropriate and polite ways to do that, like those that I mentioned before. Thank you guys for taking your time to watch this video. Subscribe, hit the bell, like it, and leave us your comments. Sending you lots of love until the next video.